We're live again. I apologize about that. Yeah, sometimes it crashes when I switch through the teams often. Once I leave the save file, that's not a big deal though. That happens. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 preseason sims. We're gonna see what happens, and then we will start the actual stream itself. YouTube didn't crash the stream, my PlayStation crashed, which ends the stream. So maybe, I guess it was technically YouTube too. So, how we doing as we wait for this to sim? Who is ready for weeks 1 and 2? What games are we watching again? I think the Vikings, Giants, and Huskies, Browns. Yeah, those 2 games won their votes by a lot. Neither vote was very close. I don't want to go too slow. I just want to sim right to the offseason because, well, these sims can take a little bit. So I think it would be better to just like go as fast as we can. Trayvon Smith season is less he sucks. You guys got the factory already set and ready to go. Can we watch a Broncos game this season? Put it this way. I will try to get people to watch the Broncos. I will put them on the poll whenever they have good games. The Jaguars are kind of the same way. Like, I think the Broncos and the Jaguars are interesting teams. I put them on the poll pretty often, but they don't get a lot of votes, and I don't know why. So, I guess I'll have to put them on the poll extra just so they can, you know, win. His last words were, so my idea, break. Yeah, what I was trying to say was my idea was to do the sim here, I think. I have a trade in... Oh, Jesus Christ. We already have another quarterback coming in, and you also have C.J. Stroud back there, too. All right, now we're simming through the playoffs. I wonder which surprising teams are in the playoffs. Last year, the preseason sims were very accurate. Some of them correctly predicted teams like the Huskies and the Ravens, who nobody thought were going to be good, ended up being good. I think the Black Knights as well. They had Denver winning the OFL Bowl a couple of times. The Broncos never ended up that good, but we're still solid. Do we want to start with the season recap, or do we want to start with the standings? Let's start with the standings. We'll work our way up. The Lions got the 1 seed. Jesus Christ. So the Browns won the AFC North. The Aviators got in as a wild card, and the Ravens just missed out. The Tigers won the South. The Wizards made the playoffs, so the 2 good teams stay good. In the East, the Beats win the division. The Dolphins are right behind them as a wild card. And then in the West, the Broncos escape with the division. The Pioneers and the Chiefs, who were the 2 best teams in the conference last year, with double-digit losses. The Lions got the 1 seed. How? I don't know. At least we made the playoffs. The Huskies didn't. So I guess we're better. Carolina wins the South. They're the only ones to make it here. 3 playoff teams in the East, and none of them are the Black Knights. The defending champion Giants go 12-5, with Washington and the Bats also in the playoffs. And then the Niners win the NFC West. Who won the OFL Bowl? I'm going to guess the Tigers over the Panthers. The Panthers over the Beats. Okay. Patrick Mahomes won MVP. I think Christian McCaffrey's won every Offensive Player of the Year in every preseason sim we've done. It's so weird. TJ Watt won DPOY. Dontavius Brown won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Juan Simmons won Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll take a look at the whole playoff bracket, and then we'll do 2 more sims. This is how we're going to operate our long-term sims here. We're moving quick. The 2 1 seeds lost in the conference championships to the 2 seeds. Interesting. The wild cards all really struggled in the first round, other than the Vikings and the Wizards. It's not going to crash, is it? No. Okay, good. Nick from the Browns balled out. Oh, he's from the Browns. Okay, I see how it is. All right, sim number 2. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to see how similar they are. Imagine if Octi saved... I mean, I technically did. But yeah, that'd be bad if I saved over the main thing. That would not be good. What about Ozuna from the Braves? What a high-character individual. He would never lay his hands on a woman. He would never drink and drive. Seems like a good dude. I won't go through all the season stats because I don't want to do this long-term sims, or the long-term sims, but preseason sims for more than like 10 minutes. This is supposed to be pretty quick. And he's also mid at baseball, that's true. If I get playing time in my first JD game, can Hector get X Factor? Hector can get a pair of Ds. How about that? Hector, you can get a pair of D's ratios. Exactly, there you go. You're on. You got the right idea. Yeah, these are the pre-regular season sims. What if we went 9-8 in the sim because Hector tore his ACL and Tim Robinson was a quarterback because Jacoby Brissett had some racism allegations? Would racism allegations put you on the bench? I don't know if that's how that works. Okay, we've made it to the end of the season. Carolina, as I see on the top, won the OFL Bowl again. Okay, clearly the Panthers are supposed to be pretty good. Okay, some changes here in the AFC North. The Aviators win the division. The Shamrocks make the playoffs. The Ravens go 10-7 again and miss out again. And the Browns finish in last. Tigers and Wizards both make the playoffs again. The Dolphins win the East. This time the Beats don't get in, and the Jets are still aides. The Chiefs and the Pioneers are both back in after playing horribly in the first sim. The Broncos at 10-7 miss out. The Vikings win the division. The Bears make the playoffs, and the Huskies are garbage. Carolina has some friends in their division making the playoffs, the Saints and the Falcons. The Black Knights win the East. So in the first sim, everybody but the Black Knights made the playoffs, and now it's just the Black Knights. And then the Niners win the West again, and the Seahawks go 0-17. Huh. The two-time champion Seahawks have clearly had a long fall from grace. Holy hell. $38-0, $20-0. Jesus Christ. This is the team who won the first 2 OFL Bowls. And weren't they pretty good last year? Yeah, they made the playoffs last year. They were the 2 seed last year. In the OFL Bowl, the Panthers beat the Tigers. Bryce Young wins the OFL Bowl MVP. Matt Corral wins the regular season MVP. Okay. Christian McCaffrey wins Offensive Player of the Year again. Rookie Jeff Walker not only wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he also wins Defensive Player of the Year. And Noah Syverson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know I said I wasn't going to look at stats, but I gotta see Jeff Walker. How did he win Defensive Player of the Year? Did I miss him? Is he at the top? 6 picks. Yeah, and that'll do it. All right, one more sim. Can Carolina get the three-peat? It would be very on-brand for Carolina to win all of these preseason sims and then win like 8 games in the actual regular season. That would be very on-brand for Husker. All right, third and final sim. Here we go. Maybe you should have drafted Bryce instead of DJ. Based on these preseason sims, yeah. Although preseason sims, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter. But we'll see if they prove to matter here. Oh, I forgot playoff picture. Oops. Well, at least we saw who made the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter. Not fun not having an entire. Well, we still have one more. Maybe we'll have another entire division make the playoffs. I mean, you gotta also realize the odds of that are like unbelievably low. So let's be real, it's probably not gonna happen. I'm going to refrain myself from talking about a certain punter. Yeah, let's avoid that if we can. Maybe the Jets win it. Oh, the Jets have been horrible in the first two sims so far. I don't think they're winning jack. But maybe I will prove to be wrong. I don't know. The Tigers are still really good. Interesting. They've won the division each time. And, Carolina made the OFL Bowl again, but lost to a mystery team. What if it's the Tigers? Man, Madden's preseason sims do not like parity. Okay. AFC North, this time the Ravens win the division at 12-5. Browns get in at 9-8. Tigers at 11-6. They've won the division each time. But this time the Wizards don't make it in as a wild card, and instead it's the Bison. The Dolphins made the playoffs each time. They take the East handedly. The Jets are still horrible. I think they've finished bottom 3 each time. Pioneers win the West. Chiefs get in as a wild card. The Huskies win the division. This time the Lions get in with 11 wins. The Vikings and Bears both barely miss out. Panthers win the division again. Saints get in as a wild card. Washington wins the division. So 3 division winners in the East. The Niners win the 1 seed at 12-5. And the Rams get in as a wild card. Why are the Seahawks so horrible? 590 points allowed. Good God. Was Micah Parsons that important? No wonder the Tigers have been so good. This time it's the Pioneers who win the OFL Bowl, though, over the, 3-time NFC champion Carolina Panthers. Josh Allen wins the MVP. McCaffrey wins Offensive Player of the Year again. I'm pretty sure he's won every Offensive Player of the Year in every preseason sim we've done, and that's not an exaggeration. TJ Watt wins DPOY. Noah Syverson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year again. And the number 1 pick, Keon Johnson, wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll look at the playoff picture this time, and then that'll be it. Hold on, that's not the playoff picture. So what we can expect according to these preseason sims. Christian McCaffrey's really good at football. Carolina Panthers are really good at football. There you go. Both 1 seeds again losing in the conference championship by... Wait, no, the Pioneers won. Okay, I'm blind apparently. The Tigers still can't win a playoff game. We won't be going through stats because if we did, we would be here all day. I wish both of those statements went together in real life. Okay, so now we are here back on the actual OFL. All right, Vikings-Giants week 1. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2.
The answer is 1.
1. That's us. I don't know if Naruto's here, but he can pick his jerseys as well. How do you guys like the echo? Okay, enough of that. Yeah, EA's getting a little bit too realistic with that Seahawks prediction. They have Kyler Murray at quarterback, not Geno Smith, guys. So we've got a rematch of last year in the divisional round of the playoffs. I'm not going to remind everybody how that game ended because I really just don't want to talk about it. But thankfully, A.J. Terrell will not be playing in this game. That's really all I can say. This is the opening Thursday night game. The defending champs return to MetLife Field against the Minnesota Vikings. All A.J. Terrell slander is welcome, allowed, and approved by me. We get to start the ball. So that means we get to see Malik Willis and the offense. Willis has a lot to prove. He's on a contract year, and I'm not sure I want to pay him. Which, by the way, I'm probably going to show everybody who you need to re-sign pretty soon, just so you can make decisions with, like, trading and whatnot. Because I myself do not know what I am doing with Malik Willis long term. He has been very good the past 3 seasons, but I don't know if I want to pay him $30+ million, and I feel like his asking price is going to be in that range. 1 championship is not an evil empire. That would be true. Is this the final season of OFL 22? We're doing 2 more, so 1 more offseason. And then we'll move to OFL 23 or Retro OFL, whatever we end up deciding to do. I've always preferred the idea of doing Retro, but I will say, with some of the changes with like contracts with the fantasy drafts, some of the free agency classes are going to be a lot better early on, which will make things interesting. The franchise tag will be super cheap. Some quarterbacks are starting to get paid, though, especially this year. So I think last season was probably the last year where the QB franchise tag isn't going to be that much. Now it's probably going to be a lot. Some really cool Madden 17 rosters that a dude uploaded to the Madden Share. So that would be the 2016 season. That was a fun time in the NFL. The Lions made the playoffs that year. I think that was the last time we would have made the playoffs. So that's always an option as well. Retro rosters, but in current Madden. And we could do without a fantasy draft or with a fantasy draft. I think if we do retro, it would be funner without a fantasy draft. But if we want to do it with a fantasy draft, we could. Yeah, that would have been Carson Wentz's rookie year. I think that would have been the first year without Calvin. So we still would not have Calvin. That would be the peak of Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, because that was right after Calvin and right before we got Kenny Golladay. 4th and 2, go for it. This is not punt territory. It's also really not field goal range. Why are we kicking? I would rather punt than kick, to be honest. Doink! Off the crossbar, no good for Jack Fox. Giantini's look sick. They're like throwback 1980s jerseys, which they're wearing right here, are really nice. We laid an egg of the season after going to the Super Bowl. Thanks, Gettleman. Yeah, that'd be right around when Carolina was at their peak with MVP Cam. That'd be a year or 2 after that. Because what? They made the Super Bowl the 2015 season. So that would mean the Super Bowl game would have been in 2016, which is when Madden 17 came out. So that would be right after they made the Super Bowl. So I guess whoever coaches the Panthers would have to make sure they don't lay an egg again. And I imagine Cam Newton would be really doggone good. The Giants apparently are communists. Oh. And that wouldn't be like too far off from when we started the OFL, which would have been the 2018 season. So those rosters would only be 2 years older than that. Not that most of you guys were here then, but point remains. What if A.J. Terrell randomly shows up on your team the last play of the game? That's a good question. I'm going to get Jair Alexander to walk up to him and show him the Chuck E. Cheese gift card that we got in that trade. And from there, A.J. Terrell will be Thanos snapped away back into Columbus, where he will, I don't know, maybe do well or maybe suck. As the Giants start their season with a touchdown, the first points of the year are scored by tight end Dallas Goedert. So not a great start for our Minnesota Vikings, but we're only 5 minutes in. And we don't have A.J. Terrell to get burnt by Darnell Mooney 3 times. George Pickens just made a catch. Well, George Pickens is him. I hope he has fun going up against our scrub corners. Who would be in the game? Like, is Will Harris even playing? If Will Harris is sitting because he's too good, quote unquote too good, then yeah, those corners probably are not very good out there. Third and 8. Hopefully the offense wakes up at some point. We're not running the ball well. We're not doing a ton in the pass yet. And Malik is throwing it right into the ground. It's early. I'm not concerned yet, but this is obviously not an ideal start to the year. Pickens would just catch and fight the nuke if Pittsburgh is ever nuked. Pick 6. I don't think Malik Willis has thrown a pick 6 in over a season, so I think we're good. I don't know how I missed on literally every DB you offered in free agency. I think you're just cursed in terms of getting defensive backs. Jesus Christ, what a catch by them. They both had that, but I guess that's a catch for the receiver, CeeDee Lamb, who puts Greg Newsome on a poster. I love how Mac Jones just slinged it and said, F it, make me a play, and CeeDee makes him a play. That wasn't even really a bad play by Newsome. He positioned himself well. He got a hand on the ball. It's just that CeeDee Lamb positioned himself a little bit better. So I can't get mad at Greg Newsome there. That was good coverage. It's hard to make a play there without being penalized. So, what are you going to do? Jones didn't throw it away this time. That is true. It's rigged. Believe me, if I were to rig this, I would not rig it against my team, okay? Let's make it perfectly clear. And start working on some rosters for some random year. That'll be your mega project of the year. Well, fun. 2015 would have been the year that would have been the Cam Newton year. Yeah, I think it would be a little bit more fun if we started towards the beginning of the decade, like the 2010 range. But 2017, 2016, in that area could also be an option as well, depending on what people want. But I think it would be most fun to go back about 10 years. If it was Terrell, he'd be looking at butterflies on the sideline. Flag? Oh, the end of the quarter. First quarter's in the books. Not pretty. Not pretty, but we still have 67 more quarters here in this regular season. So, we'll see how it goes. You could download an old roster for a new Madden. That is very true. We could do an old Madden. We could do a new Madden with an old roster or a new roster. We've got plenty of options. Go back. I don't want to go back more than 10 years. Oh, strip sack! I think that was Garrett. I'll get back to my point in a second. I think that was Garrett with the sack. Is this Jalen Carter? Wow, he has a ton of stamina. He's going really fast the entire way for a stupid score. I think that's Carter. If not, I'm going to sound stupid. Yep, that's Jalen Carter. Don't reverse it. They're not going to reverse it. Let's go. Normally, defensive linemen get out of stamina pretty quickly, But he was going the entire way at full speed. Credit to Jalen Carter. He's going to be a top probably 10 pick in real life this year. So, know the name. But as I was trying to say, yeah, I don't want to start back more than 10 years because I know that's when a lot of us, myself included, started watching the NFL. So if we were to do something from 20 years ago, nobody's going to know any of the players, for the most part. You're obviously going to know the big names, but I think it'd be more fun to do like 10 years ago. Because most of us were watching them. You will go 8-9 or 9-8. I thought you were going 0-17 this year. And every year. TJ Watt just got a knee injury. Well, that's not good. Hopefully he's all right. And along with 2010-ish being like a fun time in the NFL, and right when a lot of us probably started watching, that's when the Lions were also like good. So it would be especially fun to use them because those teams were fun. Now, a 3rd and 1, they got it. Barkley's looked a lot better than Najee Harris so far, although Najee's only gotten the ball like 3 or 4 times, but he's done nothing. I know Hector asked about borrowing Najee Harris for a couple of games, and I said absolutely not. But if this is going to be a trend, then I might be a little bit more okay with it. Fun storylines in the 2010s like Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan. People forget how good prime Andre Johnson was. He was a monster. Shot through the end zone, broken up. I thought that was going to be caught. Ooh, that was a close call. Seems like whenever Mac Jones throws a ball beyond like 25 yards against us, it results in a catch. So that was a surprise to me. If we do use old rosters, but on like Madden 23, it will be kind of weird to have like the old teams, but with like the current uniforms. Like whose jerseys have changed the most since 2010? Oh, well, I guess Washington by default. So those teams with like, who would they have had at quarterback? Donovan McNabb, maybe? Old Clinton Portis might have still been there. I don't really remember. But I guess they would be the Commanders. The Rams as well. I guess any of the teams who've relocated, like the Rams, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Commanders who changed their name. So I guess those teams. It'll be weird seeing like Sam Bradford in like the current Rams jerseys. Because the Rams changed their jerseys twice. Yeah, who else would have been on 2010 Washington? Now, I know that was before Alfred Morris. So I don't know who they would have had at running back unless it was Clinton Portis. All right, let's ask Google. I'm actually kind of curious now. Donovan McNabb was their starting quarterback. They also had Rex Grossman. Ryan Terrain was their leading runner. I gotta be honest, I've never heard of that guy in my life. They did still have Clinton Portis on the roster. They had Santana Moss at receiver. Chris Cooley was still on that team. What about defense? London Fletcher, D'Angelo Hall, LaRon Landry, Brian Arakpo, and I guess he would have been a rookie. That's right when they also paid Albert Hainsworth. Would you be able to save the roster as your own and transport it to next gen? I don't know. On next gen, I can access like the PS4 version of Madden on my PS5, but I don't think the rosters would carry over. Maybe they would, but I doubt it. I don't think the draft classes are available for PS4, or at least that's what I experienced with Madden 22. So I don't think it would work with the rosters. Yeah, that's when London Fletcher would have been, like, real old. That whole defense was old. That would have been D'Angelo Hall's towards the end of his career. Hainsworth obviously wasn't all that young. That whole team was old. Clinton Portis was old. Santana Moss was old. Donovan McNabb was old. And that would have been a year or two before they got RG3. Deontay Johnson hurt now. Okay, can we pull all of our starters out of that game? Because I don't know if there's something wrong with the field or like what. But if all those Steelers players are getting hurt, I'd be a little bit concerned about our players too. Although I don't think our starters are going to be in there for more than like a drive or two. And that game's been going on for over an hour. So they're probably out by now, I would hope. And it's intercepted. Fun. Who picked it off? Who's 39? Minka Fitzpatrick with the interception. Come on, Malik. Don't be a... Finish the phrase. What was it going to be? Right as he says that, Malik gets picked off. Myles Garrett with the sack. Oh, that's his first sack. So that means he didn't have the strip sack. So I guess it would have been Khalil Mack. Do I want Sam Hartman for Malik? No, I don't think I do. I don't let other people make substitutions at positions during the game, so I won't either, nor would I bench Malik Willis right here. We're in the first half of week 1. Let's calm down. 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 8. Got to look out for the holding call. It's picked off. Is that Jair? It's probably going to be a hold on the offense, so that means we'll get the ball. Yes. 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 The official said defense, but it was on the offense. It was Mack? Okay. I knew it was an X Factor. I thought it was Garrett, but I guess it was Khalil Mack. Sorry for not giving your proper credit, Mr. Mack. Here's Mac Jones, we know. Mac Jones would have thrown it away, though. Should have accepted... No, why would we accept it? If we accepted the flag, then the Giants would have kept the ball. Since we declined it, we got the ball. So there's not really a point of accepting it. Third and 18 is very long, but if they punt it, we're not going to start with better field position. So we might as well accept it, so we know we get the ball. We're not going to start any closer than we would otherwise. And there's a chance they could convert on 3rd and 18. The Giants throw the deep ball very well against us and us only. Go out of bounds. Okay, good. We're getting close to field goal range, and we still have that timeout. Get out of bounds again. Yeah, he's out. Good. What happened during the last preseason sim? The Panthers made the OFL Bowl again, and they lost to the Pioneers. I'm pretty sure you guys won the division in that one. And we missed the playoffs. And so far today, it looks like this team might be missing the playoffs, although we're doing a really good job managing the clock and getting out of bounds. What team is Pickens on? That's a good question. Was he in the draft class? I don't know if he was in the draft class. I don't think he was. I don't think he was in the draft class. So I don't think George Pickens is on the team. Kick the field goal. Don't do anything stupid. Just kick the field goal. Good. I forgot who started with the ball. I think it was us. Yeah, because we missed the field goal on the first drive. Why don't you allow mid-game substitutions? Because I can only do it for one team. I can't switch the team. So the only team who would be able to do it is whoever I'm using. So it wouldn't really be fair to the other team. Send Pickens to the Tigers and I'll give you a 4th. I just don't care enough about a 4th round pick to do that. But like if Hector tears his ACL, obviously he's not going to play. The game will substitute whoever your backup quarterback is into the game. We have -1 rushing yards. Ouch. Here are your other Week 1 games, in case anyone is curious. So the Giants open up the ball into the second half. It's been a pretty entertaining start. The sliders feel and look good. I didn't change anything with the sliders going into the game, but they seem fine. This is why Chubb is better than Najee. Have I ever said otherwise? I mean, I would trade Najee for Nick Chubb in a heartbeat. Actually, would I? Nick Chubb is going to be expensive. But Najee's going to be expensive too. So, that doesn't really change anything. Najee does clear in fantasy, that's true. Although, if the Browns do trade Hunt, then Nick Chubb could be really good in fantasy. And I feel like not a lot of people are taking that into consideration. Like, Nick Chubb always seems to be consistently a second or third round fantasy pick, which makes sense. And it seems like Kareem Hunt is probably not going to get moved, but I don't know. I just have a oddly good feeling about Nick Chubb in fantasy this year, and I don't know why. What would I trade for Chubb? Well, I imagine it would start with Najee. I probably wouldn't do that much more. It's not like Nick Chubb is that much better. So, I don't know. You want like a 4? Or like a depth piece? I have a bazillion depth receivers. You want like Will Fuller? I think he's my wide receiver 6. Started making the Bears in 2010. Yeah, that would have been towards the end of Devin Hester's career. The best safety group in the league. Well, I mean, considering Julian Blackmon was a backup for me going into the preseason, I don't know if I would agree with that. Javon Holland and Cam Curl, clear. At least you got receivers in case Fuller gets suspended for PEDs. Well, if Fuller gets suspended, then it doesn't matter because he doesn't play. He's wide receiver 6. I have 5 guys ahead of him, and that does not include Michael Pittman, Hakeem Butler, and Nico Collins, who are all at tight end. So I have like 9 or 10 like legitimately good receivers, and I'm counting Hakeem Butler as legitimately good, and I won't be told otherwise. Can we like not let them score a touchdown? Barkley has 126 yards. Najee Harris has -1. There are levels to this. Barkley's in the zone, dear Lord. Hakeem Butler is in. Is Tyree Jackson in Madden 23 as well? Because I don't think he was in the game last year. If Hakeem Butler and Tyree Jackson are both in the game, then we are definitely doing a normal fantasy draft just so I can get both of them. I can relive my glory days of having Hakeem Butler as my Hall of Fame tight end. What is good, Noel? Welcome in. Malik gives me Goff vibes. He's way better than Goff. Or at least OFL Malik Willis is way better than Goff. Malik was an MVP candidate a couple seasons ago, and last year he was pretty good as well. He wasn't that good, but he was, like, not bad. You never answered me about making a PED system. Well, how would that even work? Like, if a player who's rated low does really well, we sit them for 4 weeks? Then pretty much every random slot receiver is just not going to play for 4 weeks. And then you're going to have some 70 overall who gets 100 yards a game, and then he'll have to sit for 4 weeks. I don't think that would make sense. Hey, Najee has positive yards. That's fun. Now he does not have positive yards anymore. Although he has 8 catches. Huh. So Najee has 4 rushing yards, but he's still having a good day if you have him in your PPR fantasy football leagues, as Malik runs for a gain of 5. You make a wheel, and created players spin that wheel, and they can get +3 for everything a couple games, or get suspended. I mean, it's creative, but I don't know. Can we, learn to tackle him? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Saquon Barkley's going to house this one. A 79-yard touchdown run. Saquon has taken over this football game, and the Giants are up 24-10. So in case you were wondering, the Giants are not a fluke. They're good. They're real good. It's not a simcast yet. It's a 2-score game. If it's a 3-score game, then I'll simcast. Confirmed Vikings. Well, the Vikings are playing the defending champs, so I'm not worried about it yet. But I will say this has not been an encouraging start. Although our team is either really good or really bad in watch games. I don't know why. We're just very inconsistent in watch. Honestly, we're just inconsistent in general. The world is doomed. Octi's team is fraudulent. It's week 1. We can't deem anybody as fraudulent, although Malik has about as good of accuracy right now as, prime EJ Manuel. This is hard to watch. That might have been the worst 3 set of downs I've ever seen, and somehow we got a first down out of it. I'm not complaining, but this has been an ugly drive. Malik rolls out. He's under pressure. Okay, that was a good read. To run, he gets about, 7. Okay. Good play. I'll let you borrow Tim. I literally do not want Tim Robinson. You couldn't give me a second-round pick to take on Tim Robinson. That's how fraudulent he is. I mean, I have Jack Jackson behind him, and, what's-his-face? Gardner Minshew. I think our team is cursed when it comes to running the ball. We've not been able to run the ball at all in OFL 22 since the start with Antonio Gibson, and now we really can't with Najee Harris. Or at least we can't run the ball in watch games. Najee was 4th in rushing yards in the league last year. So it's a watch games thing. It's not a sim thing. But we cannot run the ball in watch games, and I don't know why. So I guess it's good that we throw the ball 75% of the time, because that's really the only way we can get yards. Flag on the play. Look at Malik go. That's a first down, but I don't think it's going to stand. Yeah. Kerry Mitchell, one of the new starters on the offensive line. Calling it now, Jack Jackson starting week 7. I don't think Jack Jackson's going to start unless Malik gets traded. Unless he's horrible, which I'm not expecting. I think it's more likely Malik gets traded than benched for playing poorly. Jack Jackson puts the Vikings on his back, then goes to the playoffs, and Willis doesn't get paid. Well, ideally, Malik Willis is either going to get paid by us or won't be on our team. Unless absolutely nobody wants him. But there's probably going to be people who want a quarterback at the deadline, I hope. If Malik is playing really well, then I'm obviously not going to trade him. But if he's playing like this, then I don't think anyone's going to want him. Although he hasn't been dreadful today, but he hasn't been good. He has completed 80% of his passes, but half of his throws have been within a few yards of the line of scrimmage. Najee Harris has devious 6 carries for 4 yards. I don't know what it is with this team that can't run the ball. I changed schemes, which changes the playbook. I changed running backs. The offensive line is drastically different, and it's really good. So I don't know what it is that our team in Season 2 couldn't run the ball, and in Season 4, again, albeit it's one game, and we'll be fine in the sim, but in watch games, we just can't run. It's like the Browns' defense, where their defensive coordinators chug a gallon of vodka before every watch game. That's us with running the ball. What was the MVP Hector scheme? Whatever you would have said it as was the MVP Hector scheme. I don't know what it is. Random, but who's your favorite baseball player ever? Prince Fielder and Miguel Cabrera. I would say it's both of them. Miggy because, he's been a Tiger the entire time of my baseball fanhood. But I was also a huge Prince Fielder fan before we even got him. And the 2 years he was here, he was really, really good. And then my favorite non-Tiger of all time is probably Pirates' Andrew McCutchen. He was very, very fun. And at like 35 years old, he's still a semi-productive baseball player. Imagine not getting Prince in a pixel image. Yeah, I prefer not to remember that. But as far as I'm concerned, I won, so I'm all good. Nice touchdown. I don't think that was Najee Harris. I think that was either John Johnson or Sincere McCormick. Imagine if the game just benched Najee Harris just because he was doing so bad. Because the game doesn't do that. Wow, that was a 17-play drive lasting nearly 8 minutes. Good Lord. Prince Amukamara, everybody's favorite baseball player. New York Mets legend, Prince Amukamara. Can Malik actually pull a Brady instead of the Danny? Well, here's the thing. The defense has to get a stop on the ground first. And with how this gentleman has played today, I'm not going to count on it. Saquon Barkley has been unbelievably good. So I'd be a little bit surprised if we got the ball back, only down by 7. He's at 212 yards. There's still 3 minutes to go. There's still time. But, yeah, that's a late flag, but it didn't look like a face mask animation. It's a hold! Good. Good. Thank you, Kevin Dotson, who I'm pretty sure I bid on in preseason free agency, but the Giants bid more, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I feel like I did. Malik Willis is worth it to trade for someone like Zach Haywood. Here's the thing. I just don't care about adding Zach Haywood to my team. My linebacking core is already quite good. Mack backs up in the pocket on 3rd and 8. Heaves it deep. Do not let him catch it. Thank God. And we still have 2 minutes and all 3 timeouts. Octi gives me shades of QJB in some of his franchise videos. Well, I guess that's a compliment. I never compared myself to him, but I guess that's not an insult. Trade me Myles Garrett real quick. How about no? I'm good. We have a free play before the 2-minute warning. 5 receiver set. I want to see Malik Willis yeet this down the field on 1st down. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? He gets picked? Imagine if he actually intercepted that. I would have jinxed that so hard. That would have honestly been funny, more so than sad. Kevin Dotson is the giant. No, he's not worse than A.J. Terrell. That was 1 penalty. A.J. Terrell literally lost us the entire game. There's a difference. There's a good play. 20 yards for Pittman. That could have been intercepted. Okay. What's the worst that could happen? He throws a pick. Boom. That would have been a meme of the year candidate. How did he lose you all the game? Oh, you must have not seen it. Just imagine if a burnt piece of toast was on the field in coverage. That's what A.J. Terrell did. All right, 4th and 10. We got to go for it. We do have all 3 timeouts if we don't get it. But the Giants are also pretty close to field goal range. So if we don't get this, we're pretty much dead in the water. Malik says F it. He's going to chalk up a prayer. The receiver burned the corner, but it's incomplete. Why did we feel the need to take a shot for the end zone? If that was 1st or 2nd down, then cool. But we needed 10 yards, not 60. There's like no point of that. We do play the Aviators this year. Yeah, that might be a fun game to watch. The A.J. Terrell revenge game. If it's at our home, then I hope he gets beer mugs thrown on him. And I can say that because this is a video game. How does it feel to be losing? Not great, but it's week 1. Speaking of losing games, Malik Willis just lost to you that game. Malik Willis was very mid today. He gets a C performance. 3rd and 3. If the Giants get it, it's officially over. And even if not, they are in field goal range. So all we can really hope for is a sack. Or that he does step out of bounds, but it's not really going to matter. They can just knee out the clock. So the Giants squeak away here in week 1, 24-17 to the defending champs, start their season 1-0, and the Vikings are unable to get revenge from the playoffs. The Minnesota Vikings kind of has a ring to it, I'm not going to lie. Malik was very mediocre. Mediocre Malik, they call him. And Mac Jones was pretty solid, minus the interception. Saquon Barkley, pretty good at football. Najee Harris, at least today, not so much. He did catch 11 passes, though. Shout out to Khalil Mack for the strip sack and Jair Alexander for the pick. Micah Fitzpatrick also had an interception as well. All right, so let's simulate the week. Let's see what happened around the rest of the league. I love how Najee has a skill point, even though he was garbage today. Trade me Malik for Taylor. I probably wouldn't do that. I don't need Jonathan Taylor. I have a running back on my roster who's better. The Wizards beat OKC 21-3. The Wizards have always been an offense team throughout the OFL, but maybe they've turned it around defensively. The offense was still pretty solid. Mahomes was good. Jeff Sims, not so much. Tyreek Hill and Devontae Parker both had strong performances along with Kadarius Toney. I feel bad. Can I trade you, Hector, for 3? I mean, that has to get approved by the other coaches. Wow, the Shamrocks win 35-14 over Columbus. Dublin was the worst team in the league record-wise last year. Maybe they're good. Lamar Jackson was phenomenal. Carson Strong was pretty horrible. So maybe the Shamrocks can go worst to first just like Baltimore did last year. Washington puts up 45 on the Bats. They win at 45-21. I think last year Lamar just took the year off, and this year maybe he'll be back to MVP form. Herbo was solid. He was better than Dak. Aaron Jones scored twice. Austin Hooper was good along with DK Metcalf. 2 sacks for Alonzo Perry. I'm going to be respectful here. Who the hell is Alonzo Perry? My team took a big step. You guys just won by 24. The Bears beat the Browns 38-35. Death, taxes, and the Browns defense sucking balls. What's new? That one preseason sim that said Matt Corral's going to win the MVP might have been on something. It might have been on to something. Russ was pretty good. IT Thomas scored 3 times, 1 for each yards per carry he had. Juju scores twice. Diablo legend. So the Cleveland Browns from the first 3 years of OFL they're back. Matt Corral revenge game. You're right. I didn't even realize that. Matt Corral, the checkdown king, did not throw many checkdowns against his old team. Same score between the Beats and the Black Knights. It's London who takes the win. Jordan Love and Joe Burrow, 2 MVP candidates from a year ago, both played like MVPs. Josh Jacobs scores twice, so does Bijan Robinson, although other than scoring, both were pretty bad. You know who wasn't bad? Deebo Samuel over here. He was really good, along with Freddie Facker. A.J. Brown and the Gambler also had over 100 yards. No sacks. Yeah, so this was just an all-offense game, pretty much. The Tigers beat the Broncos 28-20. Andy Morrison Jr. and Trevor Lawrence had nearly identical passer ratings. J.K. Dobbins with a very Christian McCaffrey-esque performance. Michael Thomas and Jaden Hasselwood with both over 100 yards. 3 sacks for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Wow, the Bucs upset New Orleans 34-30. Although Trey Lance was really, really good, as was Derek Carr. DeAndre Swift scores twice. Traylon Burks, hello, have yourself a day. Devontae Adams was also really good, per usual. Danielle Hunter with 2 sacks. The Cardinals lose to the Niners by 1. 21-20, and it was 21-17 at halftime. So the first half was all about offense, and the second half was all about defense. Trayvon Smith was pretty good. Justin Fields was Nick Chubb, he was good. Oh, he was really good. Okay. Then on defense, 2 sacks for Jordan Davis, the big fella. How much does he weigh in this game? 350. The Chiefs beat the Diablos 20-13. Josh Allen outperforms Baker Mayfield. Friends University's very own Mike Carradine leads the game in rushing. Ooh, did Dalvin get hurt? He had to have gotten injured. Why else would Chris Evans and Brian Robinson get the ball more? Bobby Phillips, is this Kansas City's new cheesy slot receiver who's going to have a ridiculous amount of yards? And also shout out to Chig Okonkwo, over 100 yards as well. 2 sacks for Montez Sweat. Interception for Quavarius Crouch. Okay, yeah, the Jets are really bad at football, in case you guys didn't know. They lose to the Dolphins 45-3. The Jets were consistently terrible in the preseason sims, while the Dolphins were consistently good, so this shouldn't really be a surprise. Aaron Rodgers was quite solid. Elijah Chisholm, not so much. CMC with a big day. Kenneth Walker was even quite productive as well. Yeah, I have a feeling the Jets might be towards the bottom of the standings again, because Garrett only cares about getting corners. The Falcons get revenge on the Patriots from Super Bowl 51 with a comeback of their own, 28-14. Brady Boatwell was pretty good. Dwayne Johnson in his first start was pretty bad. Or Demarius Johnson, excuse me, not The Rock. Damian Harris was solid. Is Naheem Hines a starter? Yeah, they have him, they have James Cook, and they have the other kid, whose name I don't remember. Out of UCLA, I think. Or not. I could have sworn they had another guy who was kind of decent. I guess not. Let's see. Who had a big day defensively? Igbo, Bush, and Nasir Adderley with interceptions. I'm here to push the Noah Igbenogany and Nasir Adderley narratives, so I approve. The Huskies beat the Seahawks 35-10, so as the preseason sims predicted, the Seahawks might be miserable. Hector Estrada, after winning the MVP last year, picks up right where he left off. Nice completion percentage. Kyler Murray, more like Kyler Mitty. The Huskies didn't run the ball very well. I guess that's cool. Chase Claypool was very good. Jamison Crowder scored twice. Mike Evans scored once as well. Super Bowl 51 was like maybe 5 years ago. The Pioneers beat the Jags by scoring 39 points after halftime. I can't do math. That's 35 points. That's a lot of points. That's pretty much 5 touchdowns after halftime. Jerome Diggs was very good. Noah Cyrus, as I was trying to say, Noah Cyrus hit in his debut. Some good and some bad. Joe Mixon played like typical Joe Mixon, outperforming Derrick Henry by a lot. Duvernay and McCoy with 125 yards each. The Lions beat the Ravens 28-13. Is Detroit good? They might be good. 4 touchdowns and 24 completions. Is there any correlation with this gentleman and the number 24? I don't know. Is there? Dan was pretty mediocre. Do the Lions play the Niners by chance this year? That'll be something if they do. Okay, they don't. Good. The Panthers beat the Rams 35-14, so Carolina, who made the OFL Bowl in all 3 preseason sims, appear to be quite good. Bryce Young looks like the man, outperforming his fellow draft classmate DJ Uiagalelei, who got sacked 6 times. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a nice amount of rushing yards. Justin Jefferson and Laviska Shenault were both quite good. 3 sacks for Jeffrey Simmons, though, and an interception for Jesse Bates. Confused why you asked about... Yeah, then you realized. Is that everybody? I think so. Yep, that's everybody. Can I donate Jacoby Brissett to Mr. Rob? Because who doesn't like Mr. Rob? Well, you make a fair point, but like... why would he want Jacoby Brissett? Players of the week, Trey Lance, Joe Burrow. I think both of their teams lost. And along with Jeffrey Simmons and Leighton Denderesh. I did the depth chart for every team. Yeah, every team is good. Alright, so here are the 16 teams who won. If you're one of the 16 teams who won, you're not cool. And then we get to the Cool Kids Club. Everybody who lost. If you lost in week 1, you're a cool kid. I don't do scheme changes in between weeks during the stream. I'll do the scheme change after the stream. So that'll be updated for you in week 3. All right, the second game of the day, we got the Huskies and the Browns. This game won the poll by a landslide. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2.
That would be 2.
2. I think that's Cleveland. He's going to eat the Brown D. I hope you said that ironically. All right, Hector, you can pick your jerseys. Nick isn't here, so I guess we can pick the Browns jerseys. Their alternate classics are cool. Do they have like a cool all orange option in here by chance? They definitely do, right? They have to. Is it one of the older alternates? Oh, Crockett is here. Okay, so he can pick the Browns jerseys because he represents them. The classic gray jerseys. All orange, 2017. Good choice. Which one would that be? I know it's in here. That one. I did the Browns in Madden 17. I wore the all oranges a lot. I knew they were in there. All right, here we go. Week 2, the Huskies and the Browns face off in Cleveland. The Browns had a very Browns-esque performance in Week 1. They scored a lot of points, and they allowed even more points against their former quarterback, Matt Corral. As for the Huskies, coming off an MVP season, quarterback Hector Estrada picked up right where he left off, throwing for 3 to Echo. Why would there be an echo? Yeah, there's no echo. I turned the mic on the other controller off. You guys like the echo now? Okay, there we go. Hector legitimately might have 15 touchdowns, and I wouldn't be surprised. Leave it for a whole game. No. I care about you guys enough to not do that. Matt Corral will get 52 points because our secondary is as good as a potato. It's got to be better than Cleveland's. I mean, Cleveland is like 6 or 7 80-plus players, but they play like 60s. If I was Nick, I just probably wouldn't invest in the secondary anymore, or really the defense at all. They're going to suck regardless, so you might as well just focus on the offense at this point. How much did the Browns defensive coordinator drink today? I heard they were doing a special cleaning in the Browns locker room, and the defensive coordinator got a hand on the bleach. Should have been intercepted. The Browns got a stop, though. Although that safety, I think that's first-rounder Jared Livers. He must have butterfingers. Matt Corral with an 8-touchdown game. You realize if he threw 8 touchdowns, they would have 56 points. And no one has ever thrown 8 touchdowns in an NFL or OFL game ever. Put in Tim Robinson. I cannot edit the Huskies depth chart because I'm using the Browns. This, kids, is why I don't like teams make mid-game substitutions, because I can only edit Cleveland's depth chart. So here is the Cleveland offense, Russell Wilson and company. Russ takes a shot on the very first play of the game, and it is caught by Jalen, who's going to waddle away into the end zone for a touchdown. That was quick. A long bomb from Russ to Jalen Waddle, and the Browns are on the board. So what happened on that play with the corner? How did that go wrong? Or I guess right, since the Huskies are our rival, so this is good news. He just mistimed the jump, and he did the Marcus Smart flop. Second best Alabama receiver in the 2021 draft. Put it this way, I think those two are very, very close, and I don't think people realize how close they are. I don't think that's a horrible take. And gets Trayvon Diggs in coverage. Ironic, because Trayvon Diggs is on the other sideline. Second best Waddle behind Aaron Waddle. Didn't you, practice squad him or something? I don't think Jalen Waddle is going to be on anybody's practice squad. Huskies have it back. Short gain of 7. What is my OFL hot take for this season? That's a good question. I never made official predictions. I'm going to do that now. My hot take... Would it be biased of me to say the Huskies don't make the playoffs? Would that be biased? My hot take will be that over half of the teams in the playoffs this season won no more than 9 games last year. That's my prediction. I think this season's going to be chaos. And I personally am here for it. I think Waddle's going to be worse this season with Tyreek, and Smith is going to be good with a good group. I think Jalen Waddle's season last year was kind of misleading because they used him short so often. Now, at Alabama, Jalen Waddle stretched the field and was a friggin' monster, so I don't doubt that he would be good at that in the NFL, but he didn't consistently show that as a rookie because of his quarterback's limitations throwing the football. So because of that, I think Jalen Waddle's probably a little bit overrated, but I still think he is really, really good, and he's going to be really, really good for a while. And I did have him as like a top 6 or 7 player in that class, so he wasn't a total reach, even though the Dolphins should have probably never traded up for him in hindsight. Does Mac Jones have a stronger arm than Tua? Probably. I would say so. Although Tua did have a nice throw last night to Tyreek Hill, but it also was a little bit underthrown. Tyreek Hill had to make a really good play for it. Okay, predictions for this OFL season. All right, I'm going to use what I learned from the long-term sim to try to help me out. The AFC East will go to the Dolphins. The AFC North, I don't want to be too chalky, but I'm going to say Baltimore. The South will go to the Tigers. The West will go to the Pioneers. And the wild cards will be the Wizards, the Beats, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to say Cleveland, which means the Chiefs are out. I know I said like over half of the playoff teams are going to be teams with less than 9 wins from last year, but it's too hard to predict that. So I'm just going to assume one of those is horribly wrong. In the NFC, the East, Madden's going to be weird. I'm going to pick Washington. In the North, I'm still going to be optimistic for the Vikings. Nice touchdown by Mike Evans, though. In the West, I think the Niners win the division every time. I feel like I have to go with them. And then in the South, I feel like I have to go with Carolina. Wild cards, Toronto, the Giants, and we'll go with Detroit. So, like, 10 of those teams were in the playoffs last year, but it's too hard to predict who's going to come up and be really good. What do I predict your season will look like? I think you're going to be a lot better than last year. I would not be surprised to see you guys over 500. No, I thought I had... Oh, yeah, no, I didn't have the Black Knights winning their division. I guess London misses out. Although, again, I think they're a good team, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won that division or got in as a wild card. Deep shot down the field. Cleveland is getting aggressive early. Who's 14? Is that Devontae Smith? Oh, it's I.T. Thomas. Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the throw. I only saw it when the receiver caught it, so I wasn't able to tell he came out of the backfield. Is Chet Maho starting? Yeah, he should be in there starting. Keon has been the starting defensive end, or wherever you put him on your depth chart is where he is. Which I'm 99% sure would be a starter. And if not, then I don't know why you wouldn't have. So whatever your depth chart is set as, he's starting. 3rd and 12. There's Waddle again. Cleveland's pass game looks pretty darn good. Jalen Waddle has nearly 100 yards in the first quarter. This is the Cleveland Browns experience. Their offense is good. Their defense is balls. There's Tommy Tremble, who had a great performance in Week 1. Tremble's really good. What is your overall? I don't know. We can check that. We can check everybody's overalls at the end. I think that'll be a good idea. But I would assume it's pretty high. Walters is hurt. I don't know who that is. It looks like a lineman. Third and 1. Another first down. Which superstar receiver was that? I think that was Jalen Waddle again. 3 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown in the first quarter. A lot of offense so far. Tied at 7. Is Madden 23 a major improvement over previous installments? I guess it would be what you consider major. In terms of franchise logic, I would say for the most part. Overalls aren't in the video. I know. I don't know what they are. No, I was saying that we'll check overalls at the end of today. Did A.J. Terrell substitute himself to cover Waddle? That's what it looks like. Russell Wilson has not missed a throw. He looks like a machine right now. And Cleveland is still going to lose 49-45, of course. As that pass is broken up. Wilson's first incompletion of the game. You'd rather have Terrell than that corner. Then you must be crazy. 3rd and goal, Russ throws it away. He had an open running lane. I don't know if he would have scored a touchdown, but he could have gotten close. So I don't know why he threw it away. But you do you, Russ. Browns country. Let's ride. This wouldn't have happened if you had drafted Chief Keef to my team. Well, here's the thing, bud. Chief Keef isn't in the draft class. Just pulled a sick numbered Mobley. Is that, like, a good card? I don't know. I have not even, like, followed anything with, like, my team this year. 30 of what? So there's only 199 cards that exist, so he must be pretty good. He's quite good for the second best player in his draft class, wink, wink. When am I starting the Dynasty League? I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. Along with the 2K23, I guess, list of teams that I'm considering. No, like, real card. Oh! Okay, I'm stupid. That's still pretty cool, though. Then there's only 200 of those in existence. Or 199, close enough. What happened to all those Family Guy prospects? In order to make more players, you have to complete challenges. Like Discord Light Mode. Which is a major challenge. That's brutal. Where's Jimmy Jackson? I thought slot receivers always got 100-yard quarters. 100-yard quarters aren't easy. Jalen Waddle's done that today, but I don't even think he's for slot receiver. I think they have Devontae Smith in the slot. Instead of a Dynasty League, do a game show where people get pied all day, and we play football by eating contests. I don't know how I'd be able to do that, but if I did, then sure. I'm good to create cash consider. Have you been on light mode for like a week? Then yeah, you can make them. Flag on the play, probably a hold. Yep. On Clay Webb. Second and goal, they get not much. Trey Sermon is very mid. Been on light mode since July 14th or 15th. Jeez. I don't know how you guys have been able to do it for more than like 3 days. That just seems brutal. But power to you. I mean, I guess I use YouTube light mode and Twitter light mode, so I'm a little bit used to it, but Discord light mode is just way worse for me. I don't know why. 4th and goal at the 1, and they're kicking. I don't like this at all. You got to go for it when you're this close. I think they will regret that. But they do tie the game. This is Trey Sermon, not Najee. Let me call. There's no possible way for you to call the plays. I feel like I've been asked that quite a bit over the past year. That's literally not an option. There's no way for anyone to call the plays. Unless I were to control the gameplay, which wouldn't really be fair. Forget if I could change it. Well, I mean, if you've made all the players you want, then I guess you can change it if you want. I think it's in settings somewhere. Right? Yeah, it's somewhere in settings. Has there been a punt yet? I think the Huskies' first drive they punted. And then other than that, no. Where is Chet Maho? I don't know. He is a starter. I think he's the white guy who just demolished IT Thomas in the backfield. That's probably him. Why is Smith wearing 89? I don't know. 89 looks disgusting on him. That doesn't seem right at all. I guess someone else on the team must have been wearing 6. There's a nice throw. Is that Waddle again? He doesn't have the superstar. No, that's 12. KJ Osborne. Russell Wilson cannot be stopped. Alexander in 29 is worse. I mean, at least he already wears something in the 20s, though. So I guess it's not as bad. But, yeah, he does look weird not wearing 23. What is Desmond King doing? You gotta put a picture of Desmond King and then the meme with, like, what is Blood doing? He's just running around. That's been Hector's corners all day. 2-minute warning in the first half, tied at 10. A lot of offense. Both teams moving the ball pretty well. I feel like Cleveland has been better than Toronto today, though, but it's tied. Fourth and 3, they're going for it. I respect the balls I would have kicked. They're going to give it to IT Thomas, and he is well shy of the marker. That's only his 3rd carry all day. So the Huskies kick on 4th and goal at the 1. The Browns go for it on 4th and 3 at the 15. Make it make sense. Those are both bad calls. IT Thomas is getting 5 yards of carry. It's pretty good for him, although he's only gotten the ball on 3 carries. Who is Kenny King? I don't think that's a person. Kevin King is a person, and he's bad at football. Really gave it to a guy who has 2 career yards per carry on 4th and 3. Yeah, I don't know why they thought he would be the guy to give it to in short yardage. Because that's not IT Thomas's game. He's not a short yardage guy. Desmond, is Kevin King even on a team? Is he still on the Packers? Did they re-sign him again? I don't even remember. I hope they did, because he's bad. Here, let me ask Google. Is Kevin King still on the Packers? He is a free agent. Darn it. That sucks. Deep shot downfield, and it is caught. Huh. I don't know how that worked, but it did. Mike Evans to the 12. Thanks, Octi. I got a fantasy draft soon. We'll have fun, and, here, one piece of advice. Here's this. Don't draft Deshaun Watson. How about that? Give a punishment to the worst team by giving them Kevin King and A.J. Terrell. I would not wish A.J. Terrell on my worst enemy and forcing them to start both. Mike Evans has always been really good in the OFL. I forgot where he played last year, but in Madden 20, he was a stud with both New England and then Arizona. I think Claypool caught that, but this one might be coming back. Illegal touching. Did I not just talk about Deshaun Watson a minute ago? So, I didn't notice. Did Claypool go out of bounds and back inbounds? I wasn't totally paying attention. Who is my worst enemy? The entirety of the Green Bay Packers organization. That is my worst enemy. I would not... Wait, why... How did that happen? What happened? Oh, they were out of timeouts, and they chose to run another play. Why? Why not kick the field goal and take the lead? So, you don't kick a field goal on 3rd and 10 at the 12 with no timeouts in 7 seconds, but you do kick a field goal on 4th and goal at the 1. Why is this game so stupid? I think Madden wants both of these teams to lose. Which, unfortunately for EA, I don't think the Huskies defensive coordinator drinks as much bleach as the Browns defensive coordinator does. Ref should be punished to death for racism. Okay. You should let me call plays. I mean, I did explain why that wouldn't make sense, say, about 10 minutes ago. And if I were to fly you out here, you know how much money that would be? Probably a lot. I'm literally a YouTuber. That doesn't mean I'm totally rich. I mean, I'm not broke, but, like, I'm not swimming in a hot tub of money. Do you drive yet? I drive as well as Malik Willis does in a game-winning situation in the 4th quarter. In other words, no, I don't drive yet. Yeah, I'm a Madden YouTuber, not a vlogger. I don't have a million subscribers and make bank. Why does IT Thomas have an X Factor and Hector doesn't? Because IT was drafted with it. And I have dev regression off because it's broken. So IT gets to have the X Factor his whole career. Although, to his credit, he hasn't been bad today. He's only gotten the ball 5 times. Other than that 4th down play, he's been quite good. He just hasn't gotten the ball a lot. Because Cleveland's focused on passing the ball, and to their credit, it is working. Russell Wilson is balling. I don't know how these two teams have 10 points. It feels like both of these offenses are dominating. It's just that they don't know how to end drives. It's a lot better in Madden 23. Well, that's promising. I haven't done any experimenting with dev regression itself. Why is Tommy Tremble faster than Q Blue Kelly? Tommy Tremble's got some wheels. He's quick. He can move. You know who else can move? Whoever made that tackle. I think that's Drew Sanders. I don't know whatever white linebacker they would have. Yep. Third and 3. They go back to IT up the middle. Good run. This guy just said Q Blue. How else do I say that? His name is KYU. Q. Where do I rank amongst coaches? Probably towards the top half. I don't know where, but up there somewhere. Why don't I ask Google how to pronounce it? Because he's a real person. Probably towards the top. Oh, hold on. Nice touchdown for... Ooh, Fred Warner's hurt. Yikes. All right, here's her correct pronunciation of K-Y-U.
Q.
Q. Huh. Who nailed that? A screen, actually. I was so focused on that, I didn't even notice what type of touchdown it was. I just noticed he was in the end zone. It was a screen. Here, I'm looking at the play again. Yeah, it was a screen to I.T. Thomas, and there were no defenders near him. That's good blocking. And a good play by I.T., who continues to have a pretty good game. Okay, EA, we don't need to see highlights. All right, there we go. So the Huskies have it back, trailing by 7. They've ran it 6 times. I guess that makes sense. Their passing game's better than their run game. I ship Mike Evans and Hector. Was that supposed to say simp? Because otherwise that wouldn't make sense. Hector's been good today. He's been a lot better than mid. The team only has 10 points, but he's been good. I don't think he's been as good as Russell Wilson, but he's been good. Yeah, Hector's 22 for 26. And he's not like Malik Willis, who only throws a ball 5 yards down the field. Can I move Marlon Mack to RB1? If you put him atop the depth chart in the depth chart tab, then I'll do it. 4 touchdowns in 2 games, that's pretty good. Who's better all time, Reggie Peters or Malcolm Tremblay? Malcolm Tremblay was a fun little gadget player. Reggie Peters was a legit Hall of Famer. So I would say Reggie Peters pretty easily. Malcolm Tremblay was like just a worse version of CMC. Whereas Reggie Peters, you could replace Peters and add the name White, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Solid punt inside the 20. Bradley Pinion pinning him deep. If you told me the Browns defense would have allowed 10 points through 3 quarters in this game, I would say you're crazy. Although, I think Cleveland's defense has been worse than the scoreboard suggests, but I think their offense has also been better than the scoreboard suggests. So that's why Jack's drafted CMC. Probably. They're both white receiving backs. CMC just happens to be highly rated. This will throw on the run over to Jalen Waddle. Five for 133, not too bad. And now Russ is going to chuck it for the end zone. What a route, what a throw, what a catch. That's Jamar Chase this time with the touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns extend the lead. Can Jalen Waddle just retire? The problem with that is Russ also has Jamar Chase to throw it to, Tommy Tremble, I.T. Thomas, Devontae Smith. Yeah, this Cleveland offense is good. Their defense is, questionable. But their offense is really darn good. Imagine if the Huskies didn't have the goose at OC and Madden didn't rig it. Oh, Madden's not rigging it for Nick. Madden is not rigging it for Nick. No shot. If Madden was able to rig it at all, the Huskies would be winning this game by 30. And it's not because Madden likes Hector. Oh, it was intercepted for a second. That was close. Good throw, though. Nice play to the 34 by Chase Claypool. Toronto's moving it well. Is that Claypool again? No, that's Trey Sermon. The Huskies are far from out of this game. They're only down by 14. They have time. I don't know how much I trust Cleveland's run game. Although IT's been good today, I don't know if I would say I trust them. Hector under a lot of pressure. He has to throw it away. What is Russell Wilson doing? Russell Wilson is, in fact, the ultimate cornball. IT gets 3 touchdowns with like 60 yards. Hey, 3 touchdowns are 3 touchdowns. And speaking of touchdowns, Mike Evans gets another. Chubb gets 3 touchdowns on 100 rushing and 100 receiving yards. Yeah, well, Nick Chubb is, like, different. Nick Chubb shouldn't really be the standard for IT because Nick Chubb is, well, pretty darn good. Browns country. Let's ride. What do you think the corniest players in the NBA are? That's a good question. That's a good question. Andre Drummond has some corniness in it. I don't think you can go wrong with KD or Kyrie. They're both a little corny. Although, I feel like Russell Wilson's corny to be funny, whereas Kyrie is more serious. So Kyrie's probably not a good answer. Kevin Durant maybe, because he doesn't really take anything super seriously. James Harden's kind of corny. Oh, they didn't get it. Wow. I thought they did. LeBron is kind of corny. Steph a little bit too. Holy smokes, what a punt. That bounced like on the line almost, and then it bounced back. That might be the best punt I've ever seen. That could not have been placed more perfectly. What a punt! And they're still choosing to throw the ball. Interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off. Not like they can really run the ball, so I guess I kind of get it. Not a bad play from Sermon. He gets him 3 yards up. They might just run it again here. Being down by 7 late in the fourth quarter, I would be aggressive and throw the ball. Even though they're pinned deep, I wouldn't have done that. Check press releases. Oh boy. What do we have today? Oh, fun. Remember when people tried convincing me that Wentz wasn't the problem? Why do I make this game hate you? I literally have no control of this game. We lost earlier today, too. There's not much I can really do. Good run up the middle by that's Fournette. Minnesota Vikings legend. Fatty himself. Carson Wentz's partner in crime on the OFL 19 Cardinals. Brian Robinson was gunshotted during the running back. He was gunshotted. That's a new phrase. How would he have been shot during a bank robbery? He was a victim and is in stable condition. And the first comment I see on the Twitter post is, so draft Gibson. That's probably not the first reaction, but hopefully he's all good. That's some serious stuff. Third and 3, IT Thomas got it. And that's your ball game. The Browns are going to win it 24-17. Both games ended 24-17, and the two NFC North rivals both lost today. What happened? Brian Robinson, the Washington running back, was a victim in some sort of bank robbery and got shot. That's what happened. I always get the conditions mixed up. What's stable condition again? Does that mean he's like stable but good? To be in reasonable health and unlikely to deteriorate soon. Okay, good. So he's obviously not great from just, getting shot, but it seems like he'll be good. That's what that means, which is obviously very good. Russell Wilson with a big day, 3 touchdowns. He did not miss many throws, although neither did Hector. Both quarterbacks were really impressive today. IT Thomas was honestly quite good. Can't ask for much more, 5.3 yards per carry. Big game in the air, including a touchdown. Jalen Waddle was also a goddamn machine, particularly in the first quarter. Not a lot of defense. Although it wasn't that high scoring in the game, both offenses had a lot of drives that they should have scored and didn't. Ravens coach here, Ratio. I feel like all running backs get so many catches in watch games. Najee Harris had like 11 in the first game. And he was still cheeks, but point remains. Huskies pack in the air. Wouldn't Jax normally root against the Nick? This doesn't make sense. I'm confused. Is Jax a Browns bandwagoner? How do I upgrade my players? They're auto-upgraded, so it's done by each week. We lost! Yay! Fantastic! Just what the doctor ordered. Who did we lose to again? Oh my god, okay, hello. The Bats! Good god. The Panthers are 2-0. They beat the Bucks. So, yeah, Carolina is good. If you've learned nothing else in this stream, The Panthers are going to be good this year. A lot of sacks, it looks like. 3 by Jeffrey Simmons, who has 6 this year. 2 for Rashawn Gary. The Panthers as a team had 7. The Bucks as a team had none. And Bryce Young wasn't even that impressive. The Cardinals lose to the Aviators 38-20. Why isn't Deuce starting? I had the same question. Carson Strong, after having a horrible Week 1 performance, was great in Week 2. Fields was mid. Is Trayvon Smith starting for the Niners? Yes, he is, and he was pretty good in Week 1. He wasn't, like, outstanding, but he did enough to win his team the game. The Chiefs are 2-0. They beat Denver 21-13. Josh Allen with another good performance. Andy Morrison was solid. Denmark and I are in the cool club. You're only cool if your team is 0-2. So Del Small's 2.5 sacks. I just put Trey Sermon on the block. Thanks, I don't want him. Wait, the Chiefs... Wait, hold on. Oh, no, they played each other in Week 1. I'm stupid. The Diablos beat the Pioneers 20-13. So both of these teams are now 1-1. Big game for Hawk. Despite the loss. So to upset in Mexico City. The Dolphins narrowly beat the Ravens 19-17. So the Dolphins are 2-0. The Ravens are 0-2. Although Dan was better than Aaron Rodgers. Although both of them were not all that impressive. Bears go into the bowl. The Bears have to not be the worst team in their division first. Chiefs play the Giants next week? Ooh. Is that true? Oh, OFL Bowl rematch. That sounds like fun. You know what else is fun? The Falcons. They're 2-0. Brady Boltwell was very good. Joe Burrow, not so much. Two sacks for Burns. The football team loses to the 2-0 Detroit Lions, 34-31. Although Herbert was a little bit better than Mr. Watson here. Why do all my quarterbacks leave San Francisco and become good? Because they need to pass through San Francisco and suck balls in order to become good. So whenever Trayvon Smith is inevitably traded, he's going to become a star. And Trayvon Smith loses to his former team. 31-27. Trayvon Smith was not very good against his former team. He was outperformed by Trevor Lawrence, although Nick Chubb was really good. So was John Vincent, 12 for 170. Time to trade Smith. The Giants lose to London, 35-41. So through 2 games, the Black Knights' defense sucks. And their offense is really good. Just like last year. So London hasn't changed at all. Jordan Love is still very, very good. Mac Jones was also really good. Saquon Barkley had another fantastic game. He's probably the MVP of the league through 2 weeks. He has like 360 yards. Happy that I'm 2-0, but I'm sad that I can't be with the cool kids club. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice to move forward. We saw that. We did not see this. The Jags beat the Bison 30-20. What a weird score. Jeff Sims was a little bit better than Noah Syverson, who does get his first win as a rookie. Derrick Henry was a lot better than he was in Week 1. Alvin Kamara was pretty good as well. Mike Gesicki had a good performance. Nice amount of yards for De'Ami Brown. Did we see your team yet? We didn't see your box score, but I saw your guys' score. And hint, hint, you won by a lot. Like, a really lot. Speaking of winning by a lot, the Jets blow out New England 38-17. So no 0-17 season for the Jets. Demaryius Johnson is pretty bad. Although it's only been 2 games. But he's been very blah. Thee Riley, 3 touchdowns. Why is he their highest rated running back? Over Trey Sanders? Joshua Palmer was really good in the air. So the Jets have a better record than us. The Jets have more wins than us, the Cardinals, and the Ravens combined. Not ideal. And the Patriots, who were a playoff team last year. And the Rams, who are also decently good. New Orleans had to make a big comeback in the fourth quarter to win. Both quarterbacks were quite good. Trey Lance and DJ Uiagalelei had good performances. Two sacks for Aiden Hutchinson. That's fun. So yeah, this was the Wizards' score. Seattle sucks. They lost 35-10 and 38-0. Are they seriously that bad? We saw them go 0-17 in the one preseason sim. This is a team who won the first two OFL Bowls, and here they are in Season 4, and they look like far and away the worst team in the league. So the Wizards, through 2 games, their defense in OFL 22 has historically not been very good. They allowed 3 points today. 3. The Shamrocks are 2-0. Holy hell. Lamar Jackson has been very good so far. Congrats, Browns and Aviators, on being tied for first. Not so fast, buddy. I don't think so. Terrace Marshall Jr., 1 catch, 80 yards for a touchdown. Way to make the most of your opportunities. Scooter Stokes with an interception. Did we see our box score yet? I don't even know if I want to see it. Mediocre Malik was very mediocre. Najee Harris was better. That's good, I guess. Who have we not seen? I feel like we've seen everybody. Did we see the Broncos? Yeah, we did. Okay, that's everybody. Week 2 in the books. See the players of the week. We've got Saquon Barkley. Did he win it week 1? He should have. Lamar Jackson, Miles Jack, and Savell Smalls. Saquon was worse in week 2 than week 1, oddly enough. Standings. How many teams are undefeated? You got the Dolphins. Makes sense. The Panthers. Kind of makes sense. The Chiefs. Makes sense. The Shamrocks. How in the world? London. Makes sense. The Lions. Does not make sense. Wizards and Tigers. Makes sense. Falcons, not so much. The winless teams. They even gave us the worst ranking, too. Very nice. The Seahawks have been outscored 73-10, so at least we're not the Seahawks. We're joined by the Cardinals, the Bison, the Rams, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Ravens, and the Beats, and then everybody else here is 1-1. So in the AFC North, Dublin finds himself in first place. Who could have seen that coming? Wizards and Tigers atop the South, as expected. The Dolphins lead the East. The Chiefs lead the West. Lions lead the North. Panthers and Falcons atop the South. Black Knights atop the East. And the NFC West is 1-7. Youch. I feel like the NFC West might just be really bad this year. I don't know why. Let's see the schedule for weeks 3 and 4. We will look at the injuries, and then that'll be it. Here's week 3. I feel like there are a few really interesting games this week. Tigers Saints is a good game. Falcons Washington maybe. Toronto Detroit. This is a good game. Panthers London. Yeah, this is a really good game. Giants Chiefs OFL Bowl rematch. The Shamrocks are now quite good. Browns Vikings, me versus Nick. That's a fun storyline. Salt Lake City and Orlando. That's a really good game. A rematch from last year's playoff game, which was one of the greatest OFL games I've ever seen. So there are like 4 games I want to watch this week. Week 4. Lions Giants ain't bad. Those teams are both 2-0. Me versus Apple. That's fun. Dolphins Browns isn't bad. Aviators Huskies maybe. Shamrocks Ravens isn't bad. Jags Niners. These two teams have traded like their entire teams for each other. So that's fun. Broncos Bears, the other Matt Corral revenge game. Wasn't Matt Corral in the Broncos? Yeah, he was in the Russell Wilson trade and then was also in the Andy Morrison trade. Salt Lake City, Kansas City is a good game. How many points are the Panthers going to win by this game? 50? I do depth charts and stuff before streams. So I probably won't be on OFL until the next stream, which will probably be the middle of next week. Injuries. Zachary Evans, torn labrum. Travarius Hodges Tomlinson, that's a big name. Fractured his shoulder blade. Irv Smith and James Walters are out 4 weeks. Micah Nenwu already had the broken femur from last year. That's definitely not a 10-week injury. That's like a full-year injury. Jerry Jeudy broke his thumb. And preseason injuries were off, keep in mind. Andrew Thomas also broke his thumb. L'Jarius Sneed, ruptured disc. Rondale Moore, abdominal tear. So really not many big injuries through the first 2 weeks. Or not many big new injuries. So I guess that's good. When did Irv Smith get injured? I think you had your backup tight end in week 2, so he probably got hurt the first game. So I think it covers it. We've gone through scores, standings, injuries, schedules. I think that's it. Weeks 1 and 2 in the books. It's been a fun start to the season. Again, I appreciate everybody's patience over the past couple of weeks. I'm happy that OFL is going to be consistently normal again. I've just been super busy with Madden coming out and all that with stuff on the main channel. So, yeah, that'll do it. We'll be back probably middle of next week for weeks 3 and 4. A lot of good games in weeks 3 and 4, so it should be fun. Peace.